All right, are we really discussing Texas as a battleground state? I mean, look at it, people. It is beat red. Well, yes, we are. Despite it going to Donald Trump by about 14 points in the 2024 election, there are some trends in Texas that maybe in 2 or 3 election cycles, maybe even in the 2028 or 2032 election cycles, that we are going to see it become a close to a swing state or maybe even a swing state. Let's break down why that is. Let's first look at where Texas has been all these last elections. Here is data from the last 7 elections. So as you can see, it's been consistently Republican, and I'll save you some time. Texas has been Republican since 1970 or 1980. 1976 was the last time it went Democrat to Jimmy Carter. He won the state of Texas. But since then, it has trended very much to the right, 100% to the right. But I think it's important to look at what happens in here. Okay, so as you can see, 20-point victories, 20-point margin of victories for Bush, 43 back-to-back times. In 2008 with President Obama, we see it go sharply down to just 11.75%, back up a little bit. And then with Trump, when Trump gets into the picture here, very bad looking numbers for Republicans. If you remember, there was a lot of buzz around 2014 to 2018, 2020 about Texas becoming purple, which would be that swing state color. It really never materialized. If you haven't seen any of my swing state videos, I'll link them in the description. Swing states are typically within like 2, 3, 1 point or less. Texas really never got to that point, but it had certainly been something that was more of a talking point. And again, we're just looking at trends. So if it's went down 16% in 20 years, another 16%, and by 2040, that would be Democrat plus 11, right? So that's why this is interesting to look at. 2024 spikes back up to 13.68%. Super interesting. We'll talk about why that happened. Let's first get into the picture of the state, what it looks like in 2000 when you have Bush beating Gore by over 20%. So as you can see, we had quite a bit of counties that flipped to Republican. Good Lord, that's a lot. Too many to even count. Texas has just a lot of counties, as you can see as I'm scrolling here. So it was kind of a new wave. The 1996 election was Ross Perot. He was from that state. He got a lot of votes there as a third-party candidate, and that's going to be an upcoming video. Check out my Al Gore's influence in the 2000 election. I posted that video. It'll be in the description. But you were seeing a trend of, hey, Texas is coming back down more to the right. We have a two-party running right here with just Gore and Bush, and it's trending heavily to the right. What's important to me is when I do my breakdowns, I like to look at the top 5 most populous counties, right? Because that's where we're seeing a ton of the votes coming. So we can look at Texas and see just a bunch of counties here, right? But if we get down to the biggest ones where the most votes are, that can be telling of the story. If we look at the by county results, some of the biggest counties in Texas, of course, you've got Bexar County, which is home to San Antonio, monster amount of votes there to the right. We keep scrolling down. We get Dallas, home of Dallas, monster amount of votes to the right. Keep going down to Harris County, where Houston is, monster votes to the right. And as we keep going down into the T's here for Tarrant, hopefully I'm saying that right, Tarrant, and with the number of votes right there, and Travis, both of them to the right. All 5 of the most populous counties in Texas to the right. Now, in 2004, we see a shift. Democrat to Republican, we get a couple of states. I was looking at Bexar there. We get a couple of states and or a couple of counties that go left to right. And Texas did move a little bit more to the right in the 2004 election. But something very interesting happened. Travis County, which is home to Austin, Texas, went to the left. Travis County is the 5th most populous county in Texas, and that is a big deal. It went to the left quite a bit to go to 56% there. From last time, it was at only 41.67 for the left. So extremely interesting there. But again, Bush won by more votes this time, or a higher percentage this time, so not a big deal. In 2008, we see Obama really put a dent in McCain and just Republicans at large, their victories, right? So we have Obama putting it right under 12 points here. and what happened, what changed in Texas, what are the trends. Again, we get on to the bi-counties. Pay attention to our 5 most populous counties right here. A lot of switches from Republican to Democrat, most notably Bexar, home to San Antonio. Dallas, home to Dallas. Harris, home to Houston. Travis County, which had already flipped, went even more to the left. If you remember in 2004, Travis County was at 56% to the left, 64% in 2008. Tarrant County was the only one to stay red, and even that, let's see if Tarrant went down. Tarrant went down significantly from 62% to, where is it at? 55%. So these are huge deals when you have 628,000 votes. I mean, some of these other counties that are red, very small amounts of votes, even the left county right here. So sometimes, like all counties matter, all the votes matter, all the people matter, right? But these big chunks matter a ton. And as we're seeing it keeps trending, it keeps trending, it keeps trending. If we go back to 2012, Obama lost a little bit of ground, which kind of happened just nationwide. Obama did a little bit worse in 2012. Let's go to 2016, though. Super interesting number here. It goes down to 9%. And this is where I think kind of the discussion started to happen about Texas maybe becoming purple. I'm not sure if it was because of Trump's border policies and things of that nature. You saw the Hispanic vote coming out in big numbers for Clinton, but it really dropped it to 9%. Bush was super popular with Hispanics. That was well known. 2016, Trump down to 9%. Let's see what happened here. We go to the bi-county results, and we look. Let's scroll down all the way. We have one county that went Republican. Fort Bend and Kennedy actually went to the left, and I don't think those are small counties at all. Kennedy's super small. Okay, it doesn't matter. I think Fort Bend's a decent size. 262,000, yeah, big number. But what I want to pay attention to is the trends with our 5 most populous counties, and that's why I made this breakdown of where they went in these big swings. So as we can see, all 5 in the red. In 2008, we only have one that's still in the red. The rest have all swung blue. That's Tarrant County. In 2016, when Trump drops off a lot, look, Harris County moves more to the left. Dallas County, more to the left. Tarrant County stayed for Trump, didn't completely flip, but moved further to the left. Bexar County, 6 points or so, or 6 points just less to the right, moved about 1.5 points or so to the left. Travis County, same thing, moves to the left. So these big populous areas are kind of the key drivers in making this state just a little bit more close, and that is the trend we are seeing. And in 2020, which we saw a very, very close election, let's break down the numbers here. As you can see, Harris County, look at the amount of votes too. They're voting more as well. 1.6 million votes, 918,000 votes for Democrats in 2020, right? In 2000 in Harris County, where is it at? We've got it. 418,000 and 974,000 total votes. So you're getting more votes, and the votes are more left-leaning. So very telling sign there. In 2020, though, we have a big jump, 55.94% in Harris. So a little bit of a jump there, not huge. Let's look at Bexar County and Dallas. Dallas County shoots up to 65%. In 2016, it was 60%. Again, that's a big number when it's such a large county with a lot of votes. Bexar County, 58% blue. Then goes to, went from 54% to 58% blue. Again, just 3, 4, 5 percentage points every direction in the most populous counties is going to make quite a dent. So, Republicans, what did they do in 2024? What did Trump do in 2024 to kind of start to swing people back? Well, as you can see, he got a much bigger margin of victory. He went from about 5.5% to 13.68%. Why did this happen, right? So as you can see, all these numbers, Bexar County slightly more to the left, but Trump 4 points more to the right. 2 points more to the right, 0.8 points more to the right, 3% more to the right, 5% more to the right. And the Dems lost a lot of momentum here. from 2016 to 2024. And then we talked about it. These numbers are even more increased in 2020. So Trump really swung it back in 2024 in the most populous counties. Kamala lost that vote that Biden had made up in 2020. I mean, look at some of these numbers. 46.4% of the vote in Harris County in 2024. And in 2020, Trump was sitting at just 42%. Again, a big change right there in such a large voting county. 33% in 2020. In 2024, Trump's sitting at 37%. Just these little improvements really build and build and build and build. But is this just a Trump thing, right? Is it Trump making it this because he's a popular candidate? He's a kind of cult of personality candidate, right? Just like, was it Obama doing this? And you get to have, as your party, like major candidates that have big swings in elections and do really well with their elections, like Obama, like Trump. But one of the things that I think would be problematic for Republicans is what has gone on in the Senate as well, where we've seen this shift. So here's Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is pretty popular on the Republican side and at least just well known to everybody. And look at it in 2012 in Texas. This was kind of right before that little Trump brought the party down a little bit in the general election results. Hillary, Biden, Kamala made some gains. We have 16-point victory here in the Senate. 2018, going against a admittedly very popular candidate, Beto O'Rourke, wins by only 2%. That's much closer than what we saw in these presidential elections for Texas. And if it's going to be this red-leaning Republican stronghold, those aren't the type of numbers you want to see. In 2024, just like it trended with the general election results, we thought this race would be a lot closer. Still 9 points. Definitely moving closer to where Texas used to be, though. As you can see, Cruz won in 2012 by 16 points. Let's look at how it's affecting. Is it affecting the governor? It sure is. So Greg Abbott, again, popular. Greg Abbott might run for president in 2028 as part of the Republican primary. Getting about a 21-point victory here over Wendy Davis. Let's fast forward to 2018. Goes down quite a bit. Again, it wasn't close. It was 13, 14 points, but these are trends that we need to pay attention to. Anytime you have a 7-point change, that's important. 55.81% to 42.5%. It's about a 13-point margin of victory there for Greg Abbott. Goes down from 21 points. In 2022, let's see what happens. Goes down to 11 points. So it keeps creeping down, that I wonder in 2026 what could happen in this governor's race. And that is something that we're going to talk about on this channel at a later date. So stay tuned for that. But this is kind of the issues I could see Republicans running into in Texas. Again, if I had to bet money right now, I'd say in 2028, no matter who the candidates are, it's probably at least a 4, 5, 6-point win for a Republican in Texas. But 2032, 2036, what does it start to look like in this state? And it's because of trends like this. Let's go look at some exit polls from 2008 in Texas. So here's McCain versus Obama. And if we just pay attention to this, the white vote takes up 63% of the vote there. Black vote's pretty prominent as well. Hispanic, extremely, 20%. So look at these numbers. 73% Republican, white. 63% Democrat, Hispanic. Let's now go into 2016, where the margin of victory was much lower for Donald Trump. Whites, down a little bit. And then you had the Hispanic go up a little bit for the left. So if we are tracking here, down a little bit, sorry. 63% to the left for Hispanics. They go down to 61% for Trump. But the white vote goes down as well for Trump, 4%. And 4% is more than 2%. And the white vote, again, is 63%. So it's going to be a larger swing there. In 2020, in the exit polls, the white vote down to 66% red, and it's still 60%, a large number of the population. It's gone down 7% since McCain, people. And McCain was not a super strong candidate in the nation. I mean, he only got 170-some electoral votes, kind of got blown out by Obama. I mean, Trump has been successful. He's won 2 out of 3 of his election bids, and he's still 7% less in the white voters area than McCain was. The The problem is for Democrats, why they haven't been able to make up significant ground and maybe turn this into a swing state or a purple state, is this Hispanic vote has gone down simultaneously, and the black vote as well. 90% of the black vote going left in 2020, 58% of the black vote or the Hispanic vote going left in 2020. Compare that with 98% and 63%. They both went down. This one 5%, this one 8%. That makes a big difference. If you were able to bring the white support down to 66% and move your Hispanic support to 70% or so, this state might have been won by Biden in 2020. I'd have to really do the math on that, but it'd be much closer than it was. But you're losing ground there. If we go into 2024, let's stay on this trend. The white vote is becoming less and less prominent there. The Latino and Hispanic vote is actually getting higher of a percentage, 26% in 2024 compared to 20% in 2020. And the biggest thing, 55% in favor of Trump. What a change. McCain, again, just got 35%. Trump's gotten 55%. So plus 20% there. The black vote has went down considerably, plus 10% for Republicans there. It was 98-2 in 2008. The Asian vote, a small amount, but significant, 55% in 2024, 30% in 2020. So the Asian and Hispanic vote and black vote is saving the Republicans from the white vote becoming increasingly more liberal in Texas. There's probably a couple like hypotheses why that's happening. I'd love for you guys to let me know in the comments anything positive or negative, what you think about this. But especially I'd love to know, why do you think Texas and the white Texas vote is getting more liberal? I've heard people say it's because of the mass exodus from liberal states like New York, California, people going to Texas and then voting left-leaning still. And some of that is that white population that's going in urban areas like Austin or Houston. So I'd love to know what you guys think there is why the minorities are moving to the right and the whites are moving to the left. The big deal with that, I think, is the Hispanic vote and black vote. What if it fluctuates back to the left? Just for example, say you had an Obama type popularity person in 2028. Do they flip this to get numbers more in this range, and that white vote stays here for Republicans? The math's not going to look great. You're going to start to see Texas become a lot closer. And what I would worry about for Republicans is Ted Cruz is already 4 points trailing behind Trump, right? He only won his race by about 9, 8.5 really. Trump, on the other hand, wins his race by 13.6. So you're already running about 5 points behind Trump, who's wildly popular. So if you had someone that was wildly popular on the left, would they be able to reverse some of those minorities? And at the same time, maybe they would reverse some of the minorities and the white vote goes red. Of course, that could happen. But just with the trends we're seeing, I think we are going to continue to see the white vote there get more blue and the minority vote get more red. But one of those could pivot, and depending on which one pivots, you're going to see Texas become super safe red again. 22%, 21%. Even imagine if the white vote and the minority vote went to the red, and it'd be totally over. But if you saw both go to the left, that would be a predicament for the right and the conservatives and Republicans. Super, super interesting. One big tell of this is the economy and immigration were the biggest issues in 2024. That's what the Texas voter cared most about. 41% economy, 23% immigration. Big numbers. The right and Trump pulled really well with those. So it's, if you find the biggest issue in a lot of elections and see who pulls the best with them, they're probably going to win. Abortion is sitting at 10%. That's not small. Not where the left or Kamala Harris would have liked to see it, but it's not super small. That makes me start to think climate, healthcare right behind it. If the economy and immigration becomes kind of quote unquote taken care of or becomes more favorable in the eyes of the public, and abortion, healthcare, climate aren't addressed. Those are now issues that a 2028 person, a 2026 person in the governor's race, Senate, anything, can start to cater to the Texas people about and maybe get more votes. So it's super interesting. This is a very safe looking map for the right and Republicans. They should be happy about this. They poll better with these. But if abortion, climate, and healthcare start to creep up, then it gets a little bit scary. My personal opinion, I think Texas is going to be red for at least the next two election cycles. But I'd love to see if it can get close or if it goes super far to the right. I would love to see how that plays out. I think it'd be super interesting. You guys let me know what you think is going to happen with Texas. Do you think it's going to stay safely red? Do you think it's going to go to a swing state area or even blue? If you like content like this, please subscribe, comment, like, share. Trying to get this message out to as many people as possible so we can have a good civilized discussion about politics. And thank you all for watching.